everybody. This is Jamie Stillman with Team Stillman Mortgage, and we are in the studio today. We have a very special guest that I think you're going to love hearing from, and that is Christy Fullington. She is a real estate agent in the Jackson area, a mom, and tons of other things. Very involved in the community and does a lot of stuff in the real estate world as well. So, Christy, thanks for being here today.
Well, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit of the bio information, kind of like who you are, what you do, all that kind of good stuff.
I am, of course, real estate agent, broker. I got my broker probably about 3 years ago. I've been a realtor for 12. Mom, 3 kids. They're older now.
Yeah.
Still need me. They still live at home, which is fine.
Yeah.
Then, of course, I'm a wife. My husband, he's a real estate agent too. When he has time, he also has a garage door business. So he doesn't have as much time for real estate, but when he does, I do appreciate the help. And then I'm on. I do like being in my community, so I'm on several boards. I'm on the Crime Stoppers board, the West Tennessee Hearing and Speech board, and then I'm on our board of directors at our local realtor association.
Oh, cool.
So yeah.
So I know you're in the Jackson area. Kind of where is your market that you cover? Is it down that way, or kind of how broad?
Sure.
It?
Well, it's West Tennessee. I like to tell everybody I go everywhere but Memphis.
Okay.
And the only reason is because of course Memphis is a large city, so
sure.
And they have their own realtors there, and so we just let them handle that.
Yeah.
I mean, I will go to Memphis, of course, but I tend to go on the other side. But so all of West Tennessee, we cover. Our association covers 9 counties.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so it's and a lot of it's rural.
Yeah.
So you can drive, an hour to show one house. It depends on where they're wanting to go. But we're kind of river to river, if you will.
Okay.
So but yeah.
Gotcha. Cool. And then, so how long have you been in real estate?
I've been in real estate 13 years. This will be my 14th year.
Okay. And where are you at? Why did you choose to be there? Kind of tell us a little bit about the brokerage that you're with and how you operate there.
Sure. Well, I was always in medical management. I always worked in the healthcare field, and I just did like the business side of it. And so one day, healthcare is hard. Like, it's just hard. And I wasn't even on the front lines, if you will. Like, I wasn't a nurse, but I, did like medical management of it. But it's just a tough field. And so one day, it was just a tough day. So I called one of my friends who was a realtor, and I said, "Hey, do you need an assistant? You need a secretary? What you need?
Yeah.
And so she said, "Well, I don't." She goes, "My brokerage, we have that.
Yeah.
And so she goes, she said, "But," she goes, "Have you ever thought about being a realtor?" And I was like, "Oh, please, no." I didn't know. I really didn't know what they did. I mean, this was 15 years ago. Like,
sure.
Didn't really know what they did, but I was like, "Oh, I can't do that. That's." And so she was like, "Yeah, you can." And so she was like, "Let's just sit down and talk." I met her, and went to lunch, and we talked about it and stuff. And so I was like, "You know what? Maybe I will."
Yeah.
So I took the classes, and then. Yeah. So that's how I was, just because I was just,
Yeah.
And so I started out at Cry-like Blue Skies in Jackson. And then there was some shakeup, or if you will. I don't know. I don't know. It does happen.
Every industry.
It does.
Everything.
100%.
There's always change.
But I was so new in the business, I didn't know what was going on. Like, I didn't, and so someone had left, and they were like, "You want to come with me?" And I was like, "Sure." I didn't know, so, but anyway, that led to, just a couple different firm changes, which, happens, but,
sure.
But now I'm back at Cry-like again.
Okay.
So it feels like I'm going home, because the people that I started with, I'm back with.
That's really cool.
So it is cool. It is. So we have a really good team, really good group. So it's
That's
good.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah, you were talking about, like, do I want to be a realtor, all that kind of stuff. Like, when I got into mortgages long time ago, that was the whole thing. They were like, it's sales. And I was like, well, enough said right there. Like, I'm not going to be in sales and talk to people. And like, I mean, when when I got into the mortgage industry before that, I was working for like a vending company. So like I went into break rooms at like 5 a.m. before any of the employees got there, filled up the machines, and then like just waved it all as I left. That was my whole human interaction the whole day. So then they're like, you should be in sales. I'm like, no, I shouldn't. That means like directly talking to people all the time. That just doesn't sound like something I should do. So then I was like, maybe I can. Like you said, you know, and slowly it just happened. And I was like, man, I love this, you know, and now years later, I get to do the coolest stuff in the world. And I'm like, I can't believe I like this because I was so the other way for a while. Too. Like, that's not me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So what would you say is your favorite part of being a realtor?
Definitely closing day.
Yeah.
When
it's a fun day.
It is a fun day. It is. Now, I will say too, I do love when I'm showing houses and they walk in and find the one, you know, because their eyes change, their whole demeanor changes. Like when they walk in that front door, and I tell people that all the time, I'm like, it's so easy to rule out a house. You can go look at 5 houses and 4 of the 5 of them, you're like, no, you know, and I tell them that's the easy part. The hard part is where it may come down to 2, you know, you're like, okay, well, I liked house A, but I liked house B too. So it's like, you know, but it's like their whole demeanor changes. So, but yeah, definitely closing day. Yeah. Because it's just a fun day. You know, they're excited. You get to, you know, hand over the keys. It's just, it's celebration.
That's one of the biggest reasons I try to go to closings as much as I can, because that's the day like everything comes together.
That's right.
Everybody's so happy.
And everybody's happy.
Yeah. So, I mean, coming from a lender standpoint too, like I'm not asking for stuff anymore. So they're glad to hear me because they're like, what does he want? Every time he calls, what do you want? What do you need? I got you that. I got this. I know, but I need this because I got that. So I need. So yeah, that day nobody's asking for anything but where do I sign and keys? Yeah.
I'm like, here's Jamie with money. You know?
Bring your check, bring your pen to sign with, or you know your wrist ready to sign, and get your keys. So like it can't be a bad day. Everybody loves that day. It's so much fun.
Oh yeah.
And I talk about all the time. Most people always say like first time home buyers, because it is so fun when somebody gets in a home for the first time. But I've realized over the years, and especially recently, like I have a lot of people that bought homes and then sold and then may have rented for whatever reason, like they moved to a different area. So it might have been like 5 years since they owned a home. So that's really cool too. It's not always like the first time they do it, but like I talked to this guy the other day that's like, man, we've been renting for, you're fine. So we've been renting for 2 years and we don't like it. Like I do not like being in an apartment. This is terrible. We're ready to own again. So to me, it's almost like a first-time home buyer because you're getting to go through the whole process and you're getting them out of that process. See, somebody needs to buy a home right now.
That's what it is.
Like,
I'm so sorry.
You're fine.
Let me put on my do not disturb.
You're fine. There's probably somebody that really needs to get a hold of you.
No, they're fine.
But that kind of stuff's really cool, even though if they're not a quote unquote first-time home buyer, they're buying a home for the first for this time. And they're experiencing all those feelings again, and like, getting out of the apartment, getting out of the rental house. And there's 2 sides to that. Like I tell everybody when we're counseling people, like, yeah, you aren't paying someone else's mortgage anymore. That's right. That's like the super positive, and everybody sells that, and it's great. But you also have the part of, now if the toilet is not working right, you don't have a landlord to call.
That's right.
So you got to be prepared.
Can I give this to my daughter?
You can.
I'll
Absolutely.
be right back.
Go right ahead.
Okay. I'm
all
ready.
right.
Okay,
you're good. Christy is back. Here we go.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. So like I was saying, just people, maybe it's not their first time, but they are getting out of that life. But then also making sure that they're aware, like first time home buyers, everybody's like, I just want to get in a house. Just want to get in a house. And like, there is all the positive of you're not paying a landlord anymore, but there also is, let's set some money aside because things come up when you own a home.
Oh, yeah.
The good way outweigh the bad.
Oh, 100%.
But you're always going to have those little things. I thought it was funny, like when I first moved into my first house a long time ago, like I'm not very handy. Like I can change the light bulb, I can change kind of stuff, but like stuff came up, I was like, I need help. And
you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah. And I'm the kind of person, like if you show me how to do it, I can do it again.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm not. Like I tell other guys all the time, like I'm not a take it apart, put it back together kind of guy. Yeah. I take it apart. I got pieces everywhere. I don't know how they go back together. But
so you don't like IKEAs? IKEA?
No, I can't. Gotcha. Stacy is famous for telling people, she's like, hey, listen, if you need numbers ran.
Yeah.
You need to get a mortgage. You need to figure out how this process works. Call my husband.
That's
Like,
right. That's
you
right.
need work done around the yard or the house or something. Don't call my husband for
Don't
anything.
call him. That's
He's
right.
not going to help you. And if he does try to help you just to be nice, it's
That's
not
funny.
going to be, it's not going to be
Oh, that's
right.
funny.
So she tells people all the time, and I'm like, I'm not that bad. I can do stuff. She's like, I know. She's kind of like does that thing like, you're cute. That's great. Thank you. That's great. But you're not a maintenance person. Just, get used to that. So, but I'm sure you have a lot of like coaching moments with
Oh,
clients
yeah.
like that too, where you're like, yes, get excited, but let's talk about this part.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because and I hate to say this coming from a real estate agent, but not everybody can or needs to own a house.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
And of course, yes, the good outweighs the bad, of course, always. I mean, I think,
Yeah.
but yeah, so it does. Yeah.
It matters. It
does
matters.
matter. It does. It does.
So tell me a little bit about the Jackson market and the Jackson and surrounding, everywhere
Mm-hmm.
you carry, kind of like, we're in Nashville right now. I do a lot of stuff in Rutherford County, Murfreesboro, and then
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
go different directions as well. But kind of what's the Jackson market like now? What's it been like the last couple of years? And
Okay.
where's it going?
Well, it is, of course, I tell people in Jackson, because I'm like, I know you read the stories and you hear the news and all these things, I said, but Jackson and where we are is still very rural.
Mhm.
We don't play by not the same rules, but the same rules don't really relate to us as they do Nashville, Memphis. It's just a larger market.
Sure.
So we're still rural. So the market's slower.
Mhm.
We don't have people just, we don't have multiple offers. We don't have, things selling in hours above asking, that sort of thing.
Sure.
It's gotten to really where it was years ago, I guess more of a balanced market.
Mhm.
Of course, right now, since it's not the spring market yet, buyers right now still have a little bit of it, advantage, if
Yeah.
you will, because there's not as many buyers right now. So you can still get, some closing costs. You can still get some money off. You can still, those kinds of things. And so, and I like to tell my buyers right now that that's what you can do
Yeah.
that. In a month or two, our power dwindles a little bit because if you have, 4 or 5 people wanting to buy that house,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's
Sure.
just, so right now I'm like, let's buy it now, you
Yeah.
know? But we have, of course, coming out of COVID and all that, our prices, they skyrocketed.
They did,
like
yeah.
everybody else's,
Yeah. Kind of everywhere.
They
Either
did everywhere.
everywhere,
It's everywhere.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
It is. And so that part we were on par with everybody else. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, we are a little slower than say your Nashville
Mhm.
market, but it's still a good market. I mean,
Yeah.
it's still good. We've got good schools, and so those places are always going to sell.
Yeah.
A little faster,
Sure.
a little better, I guess. If you
A lot
will.
of people moving to
Mhm.
that part of the
Yeah,
state because I
yeah.
know we have influx Tennessee from
Right,
everywhere.
right.
So
And
sure.
I think we get a lot of y'all's overflow,
Yeah,
if you will.
sure.
Because we are still, so where we are, so Jackson is, I don't know, an hour and 45 minutes from, say, downtown Nashville.
Yeah, yeah.
And so a lot of people, I think, they're like, well, if I only go to the office once a week,
Yeah.
I don't have to live in Nashville. I can live, outside, and it's, less expensive if you can still,
Yeah.
wanted to do that. You
And
know
it's a
what I
straight
mean?
shot.
It is.
You
It
know,
is.
it's
Yep.
it's not a
Interstate-
bad drive. I
it's
did it for a lot of
not.
years.
I know. It's not.
Yeah.
No, it's not. I did it this morning. Didn't even run into traffic. So
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah.
But you have to we don't have what y'all have here. But I like to tell people we're in a good spot though. We're an
Yeah.
hour from Memphis, 2 hours from Nashville. I mean,
Yeah.
everything's a day trip.
That's cool.
You can just get in there and go. St. Louis is 4 hours.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Chattanooga is 4 hours. We're in a really good spot.
Yeah.
So
That's cool.
it is.
What is the kind of projected for the next couple of years? I mean, I know I don't read the news every day, but of course, Blue Opal,
Mhm.
some about the Ford. I don't know what
Mhm.
stages they're in, but like,
Yeah.
what's kind of the projected for Jackson? Is there a lot of growth or kind of just steady growth expected?
Well, kind of both,
Yeah.
if you will.
Yeah.
We got, we had the new Dixie plant that came
Mhm.
in. We've got restaurants, goodness, out of the wazoo coming in.
I don't know how all the restaurants stay open everywhere. Like
they do.
in Murfreesboro right now, there's literally like a restaurant closing or opening every week.
Yep.
It's
So
crazy.
the new thing now is we got Raising Cane's.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's, so, but so we've got that. And then we've got, of course, Buc-ee's is right outside of Memphis, but it's only like 40 minutes, I think, from Jackson.
Oh,
Only about 15, 20 from Brownsville.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, that's going to bring in some people because, people love their Buc-ee's.
They love. Yeah. Stacy's
you know.
on her way back from South Carolina right now. And I talked to her on the way in here and she's like, yeah, I'm only about 30 minutes from Buc-ee's.
That's right.
It's like, that's the milestones of your trip. Like, how far is it to
It
Buc-ee's?
is.
Because
That's
she's
right.
got to stop.
That's right.
It doesn't matter if you have to use the bathroom or you need any food.
you just
You're going
go.
to stop there and do both.
You're going to do both. That's right.
You're just going to do it while you're there.
I didn't know what I needed when I got there, but I'll get something.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, and we've got a lot of growth. I mean, as far as like a lot of people have got a lot of plans, and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's cool. That's
is.
cool.
Yeah.
So I would be remiss if I didn't. I know we're talking a lot about West Tennessee, but you and your family go East Tennessee for a few things every now
Just
and
a
then,
few,
right?
Just a few.
So y'all are kind of big Tennessee fans.
just a smidge.
A little bit. Okay.
Just a smidge.
Do y'all get out there for a lot of different sports, or is it mostly football?
It's mostly football. We do have season tickets for UT. We have gone to a couple basketball games.
Yeah.
I would love to go to a baseball game this year. So we do try to do some things.
Yeah.
And especially if they make it toward West anytime.
Yeah. They play anybody down that way?
We
Sure.
always try to go.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it's
That's
good.
cool. Yeah. I'm such a huge UT something.
I know.
But everybody I know is a UT fan. So I have like this little small group of Vandy fans that we get to enjoy like this past year, and that's
y'all
it.
had a really
Yeah.
good year, though.
So I don't know what the future holds, but yeah, it was fun for now. You know,
it
and
was
baseball is going to be interesting because Tennessee's got a new coach, new whole thing.
That's
so
right. We'll see.
yeah, it'll be fun. And I went to my first game this year.
Yeah.
At Neyland Stadium, and I was surprised. I didn't love Tennessee because I was not a Tennessee fan, but the environment was really cool.
It is.
I haven't
It
been.
is.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
I haven't been
It'll
to a
get you pumped.
stadium that big, that large, so it was, and it kind of like inspired us a little bit. So like went to that game, and then me and my son tried to do some either an away game for a Titans game or maybe like an experience.
Yeah.
So he's been a Gators fan his whole life. Who knows why? His best friend when he was like 5 years old loved him, and so that's what he's always been. So we went down there for the Florida Tennessee game.
Yeah.
And Tennessee, of course, won big time. But being there was really cool too, because I got to be like both stadiums, totally different experiences, but really, and we got done talking. We were like, maybe we should do more college experiences. Like the away Titans games are kind of fun, but pro football and college football are just two different worlds.
It is, yeah. And we try to go to an away game every year. Last year we did Mississippi State. And that was fun.
Yeah.
The state fans, they were so nice. So that was fun. We do.
Yeah.
Then we've gone to just different. We went to, of course, when Tennessee played Ohio State.
Yeah, for the playoffs.
We kind of left at halftime, but it's okay. It still was fun.
Yeah,
And so they were even like, I can't believe this many Tennessee fans are here. You know, so that was fun.
Yeah.
So
I think
it's
people
fun.
still don't understand how crazy football is in the South.
They don't.
I mean, I know Ohio
They
State's like
don't.
Midwest or whatever, but I
Right.
mean, if you go the further south you go, football is
I know.
is life.
The stadiums get bigger and bigger and yeah. You're like, oh, this is a college. No, it's a high school.
Yeah, no kidding. Like I used to see all the stories about like Texas high school football, which is insane. But like some of the places around here now, the stadiums are like, man, this is, my high school was not like that. Weight rooms and facilities and
it's like state of the art.
Yeah. And they've got like MTSU just is doing a huge athletic renovation.
Oh, good. Yeah.
And so I went and saw like one of their like their film room or their meeting room.
Yeah.
I was like, this is crazy. Like big padded chairs with the logos in them and screens. And I mean, like padded chairs that you lean back and stuff. I'm like, this is like a theater.
You're like, wait a minute.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. Like it's not a bad day to be an athlete.
That's right.
With NIL and all that stuff. Like I kind of want to like go back and like I should focus more on sports. Like I love sports.
I know.
But the money you can make now as a college kid, they're making more than a lot of the pros.
They are. And I think that's why a lot stay because they're like, well, they, because I mean, of course, making it to the, big stages I mean, you know, tough.
Yeah.
So they're like, well, if I can get, you know, another
Couple
year
million
here and a
bucks
couple
here.
million, I'm,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
hey,
Who knows if
blame
I'll
'em.
make it in the pros, but
That's
right now I
right.
can still, yeah.
But
And NIL's everywhere.
It is.
I mean, that's how everything on social media is starting to get like, it's just, it drives like shopping and,
Oh yeah.
I mean, everybody buys stuff on there. Like we were talking about, you know, earlier, there's like Etsy and Amazon,
Oh,
and
yeah.
you've got TikTok shops and just like so much of retail and all is just going
It
to
is.
online, and then influencers
Oh, yeah.
are determining who
Yeah.
buys what. People buy
know.
stuff whether they even know they like it or not
And
because this
I'm
person.
easily influenced.
Are you?
I am.
Oh no.
I am. I'll be like, oh, maybe I do need that. And
Yeah.
it's so easy because, you know, it's right there. They have a link right there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Maybe that's why you and Stacy get along so well when you have
Maybe.
got along. Because
Maybe.
I tell her all the time. I tell her, I'm like, hey, you are a salesperson's dream. And she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, you would buy anything that sounds good. I'm like, I can't leave you alone with a salesperson anywhere, because she'll be like, well, they said it does this and it does that and it does
That's
this.
right.
And I'm like, okay, so now it's at our house. So
That's right.
yeah,
She want to buy a house.
she might. It's funny you said that, because on several weekends I used to go, I mean, I still do from time to time, go to different open houses.
Yeah.
And she would go with me sometimes,
yeah.
and I literally banned her from going to open houses. She wanted to buy like every house we were in. I would say like, let's just go and meet
Right.
this guy or this lady, you know, and
Yeah.
they're doing an open house, and maybe you get some ideas for like decorating,
That's
or like,
right.
oh, this room's
yeah.
cool. That
Yeah.
She wanted to buy every house that's there. She was like, let's sell our house and buy this one. And
You're
I
like,
was
wait
just
a minute.
yeah. And it kept getting to be like, we went to nicer and nicer open houses.
Yeah.
The
yeah.
prices are going up and up, and she's
Yeah.
like, I want this one.
I'm like, yeah. I know.
I'm like, you can't go anymore. you're defeating the purpose.
You're banned.
Yeah. If you get her out in the car, she'd
Yeah.
probably buy a house from you.
Hey,
You just
hey.
got to take her to the right place.
I know. Stacy, call me. Call me.
She'll be available. She'll be available. So tell me a little bit more about your family. You said kids.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
kind of like, you know, of course they're, you know, you said still at home, and that's, man, I mean, in today's world, some kids just do it because they want to,
Right.
but a lot of kids are moving back home after college, staying at home whether they go to college or
That's
not,
right,
just
right.
because affordability
Yeah,
and,
that's
and the way
exactly right.
life works right now
That's
is
right.
different. So
oh, yeah. Oh,
yeah.
100%. So, yeah. So, me and Ken, we've been married 26 years.
Okay.
26 years. And then we have 3 kids, Zach, McKenna, and Carson.
okay.
They're 25, 21, and 20.
Wow.
I know. Whew, that makes me getting old. But they all live at home. 2 of them went the work route, I guess, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and then the other one went to college. But still, it's just the affordability right now it's not there for
Yeah.
first time.
It's-
I mean,
it's
you know,
really tough.
It is tough.
Yeah.
It's very tough. And so. Yeah, so they live at home, which I love.
I bet.
You know,
I bet.
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
Because you know when they're little, everything is so tough. It's hectic. It's this and that. You know, and then they become teenagers. They don't like you.
Yeah.
And then when they
Then
get
all
older,
of a sudden,
they like you again.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like you're friends now. You know.
yeah.
And so that's cool.
Yeah,
Because
very
we can
cool.
like when we even go like vacations or whatever, it's like you're on vacation with your friends because they're they're adults.
Yeah.
And so, so that part's
You can
fun.
enjoy them.
You can.
instead
Yeah,
of-
because
yeah.
you're not because when they're little, you're just taking care of your babies in a different location.
Oh, yeah.
you're
Totally.
not on vacation.
Yeah. They're
know?
not on vacation. You're just trying to keep
you're
up with
just-
them,
That's
keep them
right.
alive,
That's
all that
right.
kind of stuff.
That's right. You're
Yeah.
running after them on the beach.
Yep.
But yeah, so when they're when they're
Yeah.
older,
It's
you can-
really,
it's relaxing on
Yeah.
the beach, So
Yeah.
it is. It's just a different different life. Like, it's a different phase of life,
Yeah.
a different season, and it's a fun season.
it is. And
Mm-hmm.
it's weird when they're not living at home too, because like our kids, when the 2 that are the same age were like at college at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And we were like, oh, that'll be so cool. Like when they get to start their own family, live on their own, do all that kind of stuff. And we'll be empty nesters or whatever that is.
right,
I don't think that
right.
exists. I don't think that exists if you love your kids, because you're going to be around them forever.
Right.
But it's just funny because then they started doing their own stuff, and we're like, kind of miss them being here.
I know.
And then like Gabby's in South Carolina now. She has 2 little kids, 2 little grandbabies.
Yeah.
So like now we got to drive there to see them. We're like, I wish they lived like next
Closer.
door.
I
wish they
know,
lived
I
like here.
know.
So, so it's kind of funny. Like we're so excited for them to go out and do their own stuff and like the house will be different, but it's different. But now we miss them.
I
So
know.
we've even joked around. I don't know if I should say joking around because I think we've taken it a little bit serious.
Yeah.
But like we've talked about, like we should get some land and have like a family compound,
know.
like build a couple houses, have like
Yep.
a thing. I've heard people doing that, and I'm like, I used to laugh about that.
I did too. But
And now I'm like, it'd be kind of cool.
I know, I'm like, that's not sounding so bad now.
Yeah.
Like, it's really not.
I got
So,
this like grand plan in my head because
Yeah.
I'm like, we can build like a pool in like the middle,
yeah.
and then you can have like sidewalks to go over to each family's house,
That
and we're
is
all
cool.
here. I was just
Yeah.
like, yeah. So I'm drawing up plans and stuff. I don't know if it's ever going to happen, but yeah. I mean, I was just like, now I kind of want them to be around as much as possible for a little while. I was like,
Yeah.
it'll be fine. They can start their own thing, you know.
Yeah. And then with the grandkids, it's
yeah.
just, so yeah.
Yeah, you miss them.
Oh,
If you're
yeah.
close to your kids, you miss them. Like, I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
we had whole meltdowns. We were so happy about the ones that were going to school or going the work route and moving
Yeah.
out on their own, whatever it was. But then it's like, man, it's a lot harder to let them go than you
It
think.
is.
You know,
It is.
because
I
you're like,
know.
isn't that what we do? We're supposed to like raise them, let
That's
them go
right.
on. But it's like, man,
It's
yeah,
tough.
yeah,
Because, especially because, you go through all these, phases, and then when they start driving, you're like, oh, goodness,
Yes.
And and I'm still, like I said, my youngest is 20.
yeah.
And so sometimes I'll still go on Life 360 and be
Oh.
like, where is he? Or where,
Yeah.
because especially if I'm, on social media or something and somebody posts, oh, there was an accident on whatever.
Same
First
thing.
thing I do is I go to Life 360 to see where my kids are.
Yep.
Like, were they near it?
Yeah, we do too. Or we call them.
It's just,
If it's not
yes.
showing up, we're just like,
I know,
hey,
I'm
there's
like,
a bad wreck
hey.
down the street. Just making sure you're okay.
Yeah. And avoid there, go the other way,
Yeah,
kind of thing. Yeah. Oh,
I think that's perfectly normal. So
Yeah.
it's like we've been on like 360 forever, and we're the same way. I was just you were talking about when they start driving. I literally was having a conversation yesterday. I was talking to a real estate agent, and they're talking about their kid just starting to drive, and I was like, I still remember when my oldest, so when Ryan got his driver's license, I was like, this is going to be so cool.
Right.
Like he had been driving with me with his permit and all that kind of stuff, but I was like, I still remember how much my stomach hurt the
Yes.
first time
Yes.
I stood and watched him drive away in a car. And I was not prepared for it because I was like, big milestone. This is so cool. Look what he's
Right.
doing. And when the car started pulling away,
and you're like,
I was like, oh, my
Like, wait a
heart. Like,
minute.
I'm like, hold on. This
I
is
know.
way more emotional than I thought. Because all of a sudden you're like, it's like you're like this with your kids and you realize they're out in the world without you.
I know.
Like, even though they've been going to school, they've been hanging out with their friends.
Oh, yeah.
There was something about the car pulling
know.
away that you're just like, oh, gut wrenching.
I know.
And it doesn't go away really
no,
easy.
it doesn't.
You
It
just,
doesn't.
because you're like, oh, like you said, an accident. You're like, oh,
It
just
is. I mean,
all the things you've gone through.
Yes.
You go, oh my God, if my kid was going through that, that would, I don't want them to go through that.
That's right.
'Cause we want to
That's right.
protect them, even though we know we
yeah.
can't.
Just put them in a little bubble.
Yeah, just keep them. Never have any bad stuff happen to you ever. And then you're torn because, like, I see all the stuff mostly online and stuff. But you see all the things like you're not doing your kid a favor if you do this for him.
Right,
and then
right.
there's part of me and Stacey are like, okay, are we doing everything we can to launch
That's right. Right.
our kids basically? And
Yeah.
ours are getting late 20s, getting into their 30s, and so we start questioning that stuff. End of the day, I think we both just go, I'm so glad we're able to do whatever we can for them.
I think. Well, I think.
You know?
Yeah. Then that's the truth. I
Yeah.
mean, because like, I'm not a. Not a coddler. I mean, I am, but like to my kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm not. I mean, I'm not immune. I know. They do so, and I want them to go do stuff. I'm not saying
Sure.
I'm like,
Oh,
you
yeah.
can't live that. Nothing
Yeah.
like that. I mean, my daughter moved to Texas for like 6 to 8 months.
Uh-huh.
And then
Yeah.
I told her, I was like, go.
Yeah.
Because you're young. You don't have kids. You're not married yet. Go.
Yeah.
Because if you don't go now, I mean, there's a big wide world out there.
Thank
You know what I
you.
mean? That's
Yeah.
not Jackson, Tennessee.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so, I mean, she ended up moving back, but she went there
Yeah.
to see what what this
At least
world
experience
holds.
it. Yes.
Exactly.
I think
But
that's
will.
such a great point.
I mean, and I'm the first one. I mean, and she's a world traveler. She travels all the time.
Yeah.
And so that's when I'm like, go do
Yeah.
it. Please go.
Yeah.
Because
And do
you
it
don't
now.
want- Do it now.
Yeah.
That's right. That's
Yeah. I mean,
right.
you never know what tomorrow holds.
You don't.
But then, like, one of my sons, he was already out on his own, owned a house, and he's just always. We used to joke when he was little, like he was gonna either be like a marine biologist or live on the beach and be like the guy that rents out chairs.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
mean,
somewhere in between, but he's gonna be around water.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And he's just a
Yeah.
huge animal person. He always wanted to live in Florida. So a couple years ago, he's like, I really want to move down. I was like, do it.
Do it. Yeah.
Go. I'm like, you don't have kids. You're young. You said your job's fine. You can transfer down there, transfer back if you want to. So just do it. And so like he was down there a year and decided he liked Tennessee better.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have to wonder and go like, oh, I wish I lived in Florida. Like he's lived there now.
That's right.
So I just think that's so cool.
Yeah, you don't have those what ifs, you know.
And I think it's so big. It took me a long time for me to realize that we're in this big wide world because we didn't travel a lot when I was a kid. We went on a couple little vacations here and there, but we didn't travel.
Right.
And so like once you get out and just see a little bit, then I'm telling my kids, like, if you get an opportunity to go anywhere, go anywhere. Like my youngest son that's engaged, his fiance is from Minnesota.
Okay.
So they went there over the second part of Christmas and New Year's. And he was just calling me and he was like, when we got there, it was -4 degrees. So that part of it was crazy.
Better him than me. No,
yeah. But he was like, we were up here earlier this year and the lake that we're on, he's like, they're driving cars on it now. You know, they're like snowmobiles and like, cause the ice is so thick, it's like fun. And he's just like, I'm like, you're not going to see that in Tennessee.
No.
You're never going to see that here. I mean, we had our ice storm the other day and it just caused havoc. It didn't cause any fun.
No.
You know, like he went ice fishing up there and I was just like, I'm so glad he's just going to do stuff like that.
Right.
You know, but just like you said, big wide world. Go see things, go do things. So I love that.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah. Did y'all have a lot with the storm in the Jackson area?
We did.
Yeah.
But I hate to say this, but our neighborhood, it's uphill both ways. So,
that sounds like a famous story.
I know, exactly. And so, so we were pretty stuck. I mean, and we are right in the middle of town. You know? But so what I mean by that is, so one of the major roads, we're not even half a mile from it. Okay, so it was clear, but we couldn't get to it.
Oh wow!
Because, like I said, it was, and then my car, I couldn't even get it out of my garage for like 2 weeks because the ice was so thick that it come through. I mean, we had sledgehammers, we had axes trying to get it, get it out. And I'm not really a cold weather person at all. I can, handle a little bit of it.
Yeah.
So I was like, so when you get that first, like, oh, snow coming, well, it's pretty. So pretty.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
And so, first day, even the first 2 days. Okay. Then it wasn't going away. And then I'm just like, now I'm trapped. So it goes from, okay, this is fun. We're relaxing. We're, we're cooking soups and watching Netflix or whatever, to now we're like, okay, we're stuck.
Yeah.
We're not going anywhere. And we tried. I mean, we had to, whenever we did go out, we'd have to take my daughter's Jeep because hers was the only one that would go, you know. And it still was it was treacherous, So it went from okay to, okay, this is assault. This is harassment.
Yeah.
Like, you know
this
what I mean?
This is not okay.
This is not okay.
Yeah.
And so I was like, no, I couldn't do this. But granted, I mean, I know that it doesn't happen here all the time. Thank goodness, you know, but I didn't like it.
It was messy.
It was messy.
Because, I mean, they're still cleaning up around here, all the trees. And I mean, there's some people that were without power for like 2 weeks.
I know. Now, and I will say this, our energy, Jack's energy was phenomenal. I don't know if we ever lost power. I think some may have, but when they did, I mean, it was like in like a couple hours,
That's great.
It really was. I mean, our utility company, they knocked it out. They did great.
Yeah.
They really did. So that was, very thankful for that. And we never lost power. But I think even the people that we knew did, like I said, it was like a couple hours maybe, So we were very, very blessed in that we didn't. Because I was reading on, like, some of my friends that live here.
Yeah.
I mean, they were going on, day 11, day 12.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, oh, bless her. I mean, it's, I hate that.
I don't want to be.
No.
Yeah. It's cold enough.
Oh,
and then no power, trying to figure out, do you go somewhere else? And
That's
then,
right.
My aunt lives not too far from here, and she was without power for like 8 days, and we had to like load up all of her frozen food, take it to one of my cousin's house, put it in her deep freeze, and just to try to save whatever you can.
I know.
And she's got little dogs because she's retired, so she's like got to worry about where they're going to go. And
it's a lot.
Yeah, just a lot of different things, and then just hoping that everything comes back to normal.
And then when it does come back, is everything okay? Like, because I've read, there could be the power surges after that, and then
pipes.
I mean, it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
A lot to go with. So, yeah, well, I'm glad y'all made it through without too much trouble.
Yeah.
We got really lucky. I mean, Murfreesboro, I think, the city had like 40,000 people without power for some time, but we didn't. So we got really lucky. But I don't think any extended stuff like Nashville had. Nashville had some people that really.
They did.
And now they're, of course, blaming the electrical service, and they're going to make changes and all that kind of fun stuff. A little bit of, there's always some drama and political stuff going on somewhere.
We had some of that too with our streets.
Yeah.
But,
it's just part of the deal.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. I was like, ooh, I was glad I wasn't on the city council.
Yeah, that's not a good time to be on that.
Don't put me down for that.
So some of the boards you were talking about that you were on, like Crime Stopper and stuff, what exactly do any of those organizations, what do they do? I'd love to know more about them.
So with Crime Stopper, this is my first year. Well, it's my first year for Crime Stoppers and the West Tennessee Hearing and Speech.
Okay.
And so, okay. And so, so our Crime Stoppers is, of course, I mean, it's Crime Stoppers.
Yeah,
they do the, the tips and the, with crime in our, area and, that kind of thing. So that's what they do. We raise money for Crime Stoppers so that we have money to give out for when people do call in for, if they see someone. So that's what we do with that one. Again, that's my first year, so I was excited. A friend of mine, she is the forensic artist for Crime Stoppers. And so, and I met her through another organization. And so, but I thought, you have the coolest job.
No doubt.
So if
that's
there's
pretty neat.
Yeah, so if there's any like picture of like, have you seen this man?
Yeah.
The drawing. She does the drawing.
That's a really unique, cool thing.
It really is, yeah. So, I mean, that was so cool. I'm not creative at all, so I always I see people creative. I'm like, man,
I can relate.
The boat on that.
I can't draw. No. I can't play a musical instrument. I can't do any of that stuff. So can't sing.
I mean, I love to sing, but I can't sing.
Yeah, I sing alone.
Me
no
too.
one can hear it.
Yeah, in the car. I mean, I'm a concert. But yeah. So when because I told her, I said, if you ever need anybody for your borders, I would love, because so
cool.
So that's my first year on that one, and then my first year for the West Tennessee Hearing and Speech as well. And so but so we of course raise funds because we're a nonprofit as well.
Okay.
For, hearing aids for people in the community and stuff
that's
like that.
Great.
So and then I'm on the board at our Realtor Association. This is my third year. That.
Yeah.
And your first year, and it's kind of like with the other, it's just, there's a learning curve a little bit. I kind of just sit back and listen.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, take it all in and want to do and make the best decisions for, our, people.
Yeah.
But I have really enjoyed it. I've learned, and I get to see different, these agents that we interact with all the time. Because our board is so small compared to, your greater Nashville.
Sure.
And stuff. But we're smaller anyway. So we have almost 700 agents.
Okay.
And we have, I want to say 16 or 17 on the board. I know Brent's, our AE is probably like, Christy, you should know this. But, and so it's neat and cool to see these people in a different, because when you're going against them,
everybody's doing this,
negotiating,
and everybody's got an opinion about everybody. So you've heard about this person already before you ever met them.
That's right.
Yeah.
But to see everybody come together, that's what I like, because we're actually come together to make decisions on behalf of our board and for our, people.
Yeah, that's fun.
It is. It's fun.
Yeah.
It is. And it's rewarding.
Yeah. I'm doing a couple different things. So I'm a diplomat with the Chamber of Commerce in our county. And this is my third year.
Nice.
And like you said, the first year I was kind of like, I don't really know what they do. I'll just go follow the crowd around.
That's right.
But it's so cool because like you said, there's 70 of us.
Okay.
Because it's a huge,
Sure.
But it's so cool because there's a bunch of lenders in there. There's a bunch of agents. There's a bunch of insurance people. There's medical people. And just everybody's there kind of going okay, how can we make people aware of the businesses that are in this county? And so now I really enjoy it. Like go to ribbon cuttings and I just meet so many different people that I'm like, and then we go to places not far from where I live that I didn't know existed. Because it'll be a business that maybe doesn't apply to me for whatever reason. Yeah. But I'll go there and be like, oh my God, this is really cool. And so I can tell people about it. And then this year is my first year with the Home Builders Association of Central Tennessee. I'm on I'm a member, but then I'm on the membership committee. And so we had like one meeting so far, but I'm just really excited about it because the first little meeting I went to, there's like 10 or 12 of us in there. And it was just some people that I have seen all over the place, didn't know who they were.
Sure.
And then there's other people that like I've heard of and I don't really,
Right.
and so I have this preconceived notion going in. I'm like, okay, well, let me see how they're really like. And everybody's there just trying to make people aware and like how we can create, you know, good things for home ownership and how builders can help, this kind of stuff. So like, it's really cool.
That's good.
Yeah. I mean, it's really neat. Like you said, I used to steer away from that kind of stuff as well. Because again, like I'm a natural introvert.
Me too.
And I'm like, well, I'm not going to be like out here yelling, do this, do that, you know, but then like when you get involved, you get to learn so much about like the community and like, I'm sure that Crime Stoppers and the hearing stuff, you probably just meet people you probably would have never met otherwise.
That's right. Oh yeah, 100%. Cause I mean like, I wouldn't know where I'd meet anybody from, you know, Crime Stoppers. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. You know? And so, and that was all from, it's so funny how everything like, you know, comes full circle, you know, because I met the girl from Crime Stoppers when I did our leadership, Jackson. And so I met her through that. And then, which was really out there for me, for an introvert like me, that was, you know, that was a lot. Enjoyed it, loved it. And then so here we are. And so it's like, you know, but that led to all these other things, you know? And so just by that, because that's how I met Lindsay, who, you know, is at Crime Stoppers. So, and then here we are.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it is.
And I won't go like way off on a tangent here, but just talking about like Crime Stoppers and pictures and everything.
Yeah.
The last couple of mornings I've been at the gym, I know it's been like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I don't know if you follow like big stories or whatever.
Yeah.
But that story is so crazy of that older lady that got kidnapped.
Oh my goodness. I know.
I am just I don't know. Like maybe when we get to air this, it'll already be solved or whatever. But it's wild.
It really is wild. Because I'm always like, and I hate to say that I'm like conspiracy.
Conspiracy?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you said it right. I think you got it. Close enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm one of those, I'm always like side-eyeing stuff because I'm like, what's really going on?
Yes,
you know
what's
what I mean?
really going on?
You know, what's happening? What's happening here?
There's just
you
too
know
many
what I mean?
weird things that you're like, what is going on here?
There is, yeah. So I'm always like, because I'm like one of those people like, you probably would not want to put me on a jury.
Yeah.
Because I'm always like, you know, what's really going on? You know, and then like, oh, well, he's on camera. Where's the camera? I need to see what before. I need to see the whole footage.
Yeah.
I need to see like what happened before, what happened after.
I want all the details.
I want to know, you know, where'd you get that footage from? Or did you walk it to, you know what I mean? Like who walked that film from, you know, there A to B? Like, you know what I mean? Like you could have switched them.
Yeah.
Like,
there's so much. I mean, there's everything out there now. How do I know like this evidence is real?
Is it AI?
Yes. Is it fake news? Is it AI generated? Is it real, but then AI overlays to where,
right?
Because like, I know I'm all over the place, but like we're watching some TV show the other night, and there was a movie we saw like a couple years ago where they used like AI to make that actor look younger and older, and it's just like it's mind blowing because I'm like, okay, they'll like do a flashback from 5 years ago, and it'll be the same actress, but she looks younger,
right?
And then she looks older, and like you used to have to get like a kid that kind of looked like that person to play the kid, and now they like use all this AI stuff to make it, and it's like. It's wild.
It is.
I mean,
wild.
I'm like, how do you know what's real and what's not anymore?
I know.
So yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. And,
wink, wink.
And I was talking to one of my friends that was like, I normally don't get into like cases that much, but this one, she's just like, oh, I'm on YouTube and I'm like checking this out. I'm trying to figure out all this stuff. It's just like captivating, you know.
It really is because it's just so bizarre.
Because you just got to know like what really happened,
right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just not something that happens like every day. It's just bizarre.
And Stacey will do that from time to time. So not like every news story, but if there's one that she's really interested in, she goes. Like a couple years ago, there was Summer Wells.
Yeah.
I don't think they ever found that little girl.
I don't think so either.
But she was watching like every court show, every YouTube, like everything. And, and I think a lot of the ones that have to do with kids, she gets, you know, really wants to know like what happened. Well, you know, like how can this kid just be gone?
I know. Well, you know, the Austin Drummond case.
Yeah.
One night, you know, while he was still on the loose, I had mentioned to Ken and I said something about, we need to make sure all our doors are locked, you know, and he's like, Christy, nobody ever comes over here. Nobody's going to be here. And I was just like, okay, whatever. And lo and behold, like the next day.
It was close, right?
less than half a mile from, like a quarter of a mile from my house. And
Yeah.
I was like, my friends were blowing me up.
I bet.
They were like, you tell Ken he needs to lock that door. You know what I mean? And I went in there and I was like, you said, and I was like, I was captivated because I mean, it was like seriously like a quarter of a mile. I was like, what in the world?
And he was being spotted like at places you go to all the time.
All the time. And I'm like, and then I was like, because it was my neighborhood. So I was like, then I'm thinking, was I driving and saw him one day? You know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, I'd be the world's worst witness because I'd be like, I don't know.
When they do those like little tests,
I know,
where they like flash something at you and then tell you, you're like, you're sure that he had a blue shirt on or whatever. They show it again, you're like, what?
Yeah, I'd be like, yeah. And they were like, oh, here he was pictured in a red shirt. I'm like, I don't know. It's close, And so, you know what I mean? So
I saw him.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And so then I'm like, did I see him? But yeah, in our neighborhood. And I told him, I said, oh, my goodness.
Yeah. I know quiet places are funny like that because Stacy moved here. So we grew up together in Nashville and then she moved and she was in Oliver Springs, which is like towards Oak Ridge.
Okay. Yeah.
Out that way. And lived out there for 15 years. And then when we got married, she moved here into Rutherford County. And she would just do different things. Like one of the first times she I got home from work and I went to get something out of her car and I'm like, where are your keys? And she's like, they're in the car. And I'm like, what do you mean they're in the car? She's like, it's unlocked. They're in the console. And I'm like, you can't leave your car. I was like, you can't leave your car unlocked. And she's like, where do you think we live? And I'm like, anywhere. I'm like, it's just different than a small town. Like, I don't think we're in a neighborhood where cars are getting broken into every day. But I was like,
I know.
It took her a little while to adjust because 15 years where she was at. I mean, like when we started dating, she kind of joked. She was like, when I went to see her, she was like, okay, so you get off 40, she's like, you go down this little highway, go over the railroad tracks. She's like, there'll be a church on your left.
Yeah.
Turn into the church parking lot, go around to the back. There's a dirt road. You get on that road, you'll see this horse that's always hanging out on this corner. That's when you know you go right and you're there, like this little house that she was in. And I'm like, this is crazy.
I know,
like,
right. You're like, where am I going?
Yeah, where do they keep you? But it was just like, I'm city boy all the way through.
If you need help.
Yes, exactly. I'm like, are you sure? Please let me know. So it was just different. When she moved here, I was like, yeah, I mean, we're in Rutherford County. It's not crime ridden or nothing, you know, but I was just like, but yeah, like cars just being unlocked and your keys being in there and your debit card being in the console with the doors unlocked. I mean, it's just,
Sounds like me.
Yeah. She's a very trusting person anyways. So I just had to be like, a few precautions here and there, like we're just going to
tweak it a little
let's just tweak it a little bit. That along with the cops act totally different here than they do in the little town you're from. And they will write you a ticket 4 times in a row if you roll through that stop sign.
Yeah,
they don't care. They will write you a ticket and they'll write you another one.
That's right.
And she always brags now. She's like, I've lived here this long since I've had a ticket or whatever. It's like, but I was like, but how many did you get in the first 6 months?
That's
that you did live
her
here.
Quota already.
She's
so
done.
She's like, I'm good.
Yeah.
That's
it was
funny.
Funny. Yeah. It's just a little adjustment, but yeah.
Oh yeah. That's funny.
Fun. So you were talking about all the different, food places and stuff like Raising Cane's and everything now. So where is like you and Ken's place to go, or you and the family, like, or even just type of food, where do y'all like to?
Oh, sure. We love local places, our probably favorite is Picasso. Oh, it's so good.
I'll join you on that one because I'm familiar. That one's
so good.
I love that place.
And and I like to tell people because it's just consistent. The food is always good. The service is always good. Like it's a winner every time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I like Coyote Blues. We like Tacos Barucas. We love Mexican food, but and then Rafferty's. I think we're only one of the only Rafferty's I think left.
I was gonna say we used to have a couple around here. I think they've all gone. But is it good food?
It is good. And our Rafferty's is kind of the same. It's just always good.
Yeah.
Food's
I think
good,
that's the biggest thing.
Good. Yeah.
If you can go somewhere that's consistent, then you feel like if we're going out tonight, we're gonna go somewhere where it's good. It's gonna be good no matter what.
Oh yeah. So 9 times out of 10, it's Picasso.
Yeah.
It's just it's a no brainer. It's easy. Yeah. We like And so it's so funny because we always go in like the back door at Picasso. And so during the ice storm, one of our favorite servers up there, she put on She had put on her Facebook post, it said, "Hey, we're opening from, I don't know, 11 to 3 or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Use the front entrance."
That was for
She
you,
goes,
right?
This is for, those that don't, because they had, salted it and cleared it and everything.
Yeah.
They were like, "Use the front entrance, Christy." No, I'm just kidding. No, she didn't say that, but I was like, and then she was like, "Y'all know who I'm talking about."
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's not just me, but yeah, we always go through the back.
That was always one of our favorite places. So Gabby, my daughter that graduated from Union, and her husband graduated from Union as well.
Yeah.
They're in South Carolina now, but she still gets her hair done
Yeah.
in Jackson.
Yeah.
So she comes
nice.
comes to her girl there.
Good.
They
Yeah,
love
it's
to come
hard to
back.
get a new
oh my gosh.
hairdresser.
I was having that conversation too the other day because my father-in-law cut hair for 50 years and he passed away a few years ago. And our youngest daughter went to Paul Mitchell Hair School and now she's taken over his business in Green Hills
nice.
and cutting hair and everything. But it's so funny because she'll come from South Carolina, come by, see us, go to Jackson to get her hair done, and go all the way back. It's a long trip, and she plans her visits here around her hair appointments because she loves her girl so much.
It's hard.
But Picasso is a stop as well.
Oh,
and anytime, if you can usually count that if I don't meet somebody for lunch when I come down to Jackson to visit y'all, I'm probably going by there on my way through.
Oh yeah,
because
it's so good.
It's good, but the hair thing is wild because my father-in-law cut hair for 50 years. And he had people just from all over that didn't want to go anywhere else.
I know.
And he had, because he was so close to Nashville, he had some judges and attorneys and doctors that were probably like college students when they first started coming into him.
Right.
And they just all, that relationship
their whole life.
Yeah.
He saw them through everything. And that's so funny that you said that because, we trust our hairdresser, whether it be your hairdresser or a barber. One of my favorite people, he's a barber in Jackson, and of course we knew him before then. Yeah. But it's so funny though because he tells everybody if they're looking to buy or whatever call Christy. He tells everybody, which I love. I love it. And so it's just so funny because they trust him so much. You know what I mean? Because I don't know if it's a bartender hairdresser thing, but people trust them with their lives.
Well, that's what I said about my father-in-law. I was like, I tell Stacey, I'm like, I think your dad probably knew a lot of stuff he probably shouldn't have known because they would come in there and just say anything,
spill it,
like they were in some kind of confessional or attorney-client privilege or something.
That's right.
They would tell him about all kinds of stuff. He probably knew more about what was going on with the laws in Nashville than most of us did. And all
just kind of safe when you walk in,
Yeah, it's a different relationship. The trust,
it really is.
Yeah,
it is. And I too, and and people of that stature too. Sometimes they need someone to talk to too.
Sure,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's not in their in that circle
exactly because So I think a lot of times it probably was just as therapeutic for them, as him, being able to, you know what I mean, for them to be able to unload, just to be able to talk stuff out. That's amazing though.
Yeah.
But they do. People trust their hairdressers and that with their lives.
And when you find one you really love, like you said, you're not going to go somewhere else.
No, you're not.
Because I'm sure if you have a person you love, that's who you're going to.
Oh yeah.
And I think guys are the same way. Sometimes guys are like, "Oh, it's just a haircut." I'm like, no, because before Willow was in Green Hills, I went to the same barber for I don't know how long, and he's from Jordan. Really? Yeah. So he's always told me about his family and different stuff since they've moved over here. And so I went there for probably 2 years. And a couple of my sons, I recommend to go there, and they're like, "Oh man, he's so great." They still go there.
Oh, good.
And it's so fun. But Baylor used to tell me, he's like, so great when I go see Hamza because I just sit down. I feel like he barely touches my head, and I get up and it's done. He's like, no kind of pressure. It's amazing. Yeah. It's so cool. But it is even with a guy, I'm like, no, I go there because I know what he's going to do in and out. I'm done. There's comfort. It's just but I went to him for 2 years. And one day he said, he goes, I'm trying to think of how it came up because it was so funny because I was sitting there and every once in a while, just a little bit of small talk or whatever. We were still getting to know each other. And he would go, he goes, "Hey, I graduated high school with Ryan." And I was like, "What?" So he's like, "And your son Jordan?" And so he's like, "Yeah, we went to high school together." I had no idea. I just randomly went in a barbershop.
Right.
And started talking to this guy. And so then he was talking about our blood drive. And then he came the next year to the blood drive. And I'm like, it's such a small world
It
because I'm
is.
just like, I
Those
had
little
no
God
idea.
winks.
Yeah. I'm like, I probably saw you at the school with my kids all
Probably,
these different
yeah.
times. I didn't even know that there was any connection at all.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. And so I was like, I'm glad I'm here. And now,
Yeah.
I don't know, 8 years later, it's where I go because,
Yeah,
and if he doesn't
I
have
know.
something on the schedule, I just do it the next week.
That's right. That's
what's
right.
funny too, is like, if I really need a haircut, I'm still waiting until he has an open appointment.
That's how it is with my nail girl. Like,
Yeah.
she
That's
is
another
just-
one. Nails. Yeah.
I mean, well, it was so funny though, because we started out as I would just go, like, so I had my nail girl, my regular nail girl, and she was pregnant at the time. So like, if she couldn't, she had appointments or whatever, she would say like, hey, I'm gonna put you with, Tony.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, okay. And then she ended up, after she had her child, she ended up staying home. And so I was like, so I asked Tony, I was like, can I be, can we make this official?
Yeah.
And so, and then I didn't know at the time that they were even looking for houses. We just kind of talked. And so a lender friend of mine called me. She was like, hey, I've got this new client, and so I think y'all be great. Y'all work great together,
Yeah.
And then she told me the name. I was like, wait a minute, I know her, And so
We do work good together.
We do work good together. Yes, we do, And so then, I got to know her on that dynamic because we would, go look at houses, and when you're, when you're working with an agent and you're looking at houses and go under contract stuff, you're best friends. I mean, we are best friends.
That was gonna be my next question. Was
yeah.
do people trust real estate agents like they do hairdressers? Do you get it? Do you get all the information?
Yeah, we really do. We do. And that's fine. And I like to tell people that I need to know as much information as possible. Now, I don't have to know their money situation like y'all do.
Sure.
All I need to know is if they can buy.
Yeah.
And then what loan type they can do. And and do they need closing costs? Do they need help with closing costs? That's it. I don't need to know what their credit score is. I don't need to, so if it's some of my friends, they're like, I'm like, listen, I don't get into that part of it.
Yeah.
So if you're, a private person to that part, don't worry about it. I don't know your credit score.
Yeah.
I don't know how much money you have in the bank. Don't need to know.
Don't need to know.
All I need to know is that Jamie has said you're approved and we're going to do.
Then you're going to start
ABC
figuring
loan.
out what kind of house
That's
you
exactly
want,
right.
what kind
That's
of
right.
rooms you want, what
That's
kind of
right.
space you want.
That's exactly right. And then it kind of takes a little pressure off them because, some people are private. They don't want everybody in their business. I get it. I don't want people in my business.
I mean, our conversations start. I try to be as delicate as I can with people, but I'm like,
that's right.
Our part of the transaction is very intrusive.
Yes,
I just
that's
tell,
right.
and it's more and more.
It is.
I mean, so we have to
It is.
analyze your bank statements.
Sure,
like some people are like, I don't want you to know where I spend my money. I'm like, but
well,
we have to.
if you want us to give you money.
Yeah. It's the hard part. And it's changed over the years. I mean, I was telling one of the guys that works with me the other day, like we used to be able to get bank statements from people and like black out the account number and black out transactions, just have the balance and like none of that anymore. Like everything's so much more like in depth.
Yeah.
And we try to tell people everything comes down to agents and clients alike is ability to repay.
Yeah.
So we're taking all this information and making a risk judgment on basically, do you think they're going to pay this money back?
Right.
So if you don't get the whole picture,
you
might miss something.
Yeah.
And then later, the people that buy those loans back and foreclosures are going to say, well, if we would have known this would have been a huge indicator that we might not have approved this loan.
Right.
So it's just, we tell people that it's the hardest part of what we do is saying we need everything. Cause some people are like, well, here's a screenshot of my balance. It shows I have money in the bank. I'm like, but we need the 8-page bank statement that shows all the transactions. And that page on the back that says like this page left blank intentionally? I need that page.
I know.
And they're like, oh, why? And it's just like, it's like we don't make the rules. We just have to work within them.
Follow them.
And we do the best we can. But so it is.
Right.
So I can imagine. And I've done a lot of loans for people I know, a lot of real estate agents. And I feel really honored by that because they are giving me all of their private stuff.
That's right.
Because I can see where people would be like, oh, I don't want you. I know.
Right.
We're good friends. We have dinner together, but I don't want you knowing all of our financial stuff.
Oh yeah. It can get, And so that's why I tell them, so I'm like, we're all a team, like, me, the buyer, the lender, and then, so we're a team. And then once we get under contract, that seller and listing agent also joins our team.
It's a great point.
Because we all have, that's our job, is to get this done. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, and it takes all hands on deck to
Yeah.
get, so no longer are we, offense and defense anymore. Like
Right.
we're just not,
Right.
not anymore.
After the negotiations are
That's
done
right.
and everybody's under contract,
That's
then
right.
it's time to
It's time to work
make it
together
happen.
and move the ball forward. Like,
Yeah.
And so I said, we're just a big team now. We're all,
Yeah.
but during the time when we're, from looking at houses to under contract, I mean, we are joined at the hip.
Yeah.
We're,
Yeah.
I was like, you'll talk to me probably, 100 times a day.
Yeah.
Not really, but, and then it's like once closing happens, it like stops.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
like, oh,
Like, hey,
and I was like, hey, remember me?
Yeah. I'm still over here.
I know.
Don't forget
Hi.
about me.
Hi. And so, but,
Yeah.
and
You
it's-
get to meet some of the coolest people
You really
doing
do.
what we do. Like, I know I talked about like being introverted and it's hard to like, like put yourself out there. But then sometimes I'll get to just talking to people about their loan stuff and I'll look up in like 20 minutes. We hadn't talked about any kind of mortgage stuff
know.
again. Like I told this guy the other day and he was like at a batting cage, like throwing balls to his son.
Yeah.
And we just started talking about it. And like, then I'm reliving history with my son. And like, we're talking about everything in the world. And I'm like, by the end of the conversation, I was like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah, by the way.
I need to send you the link to do the application because we got our baseball.
Yep.
We're on the same page there. We got to see if we can buy a house now.
know. That's right.
So,
that's
but
exactly right.
It's fun meeting different people and
It is.
helping them through that process. And yeah, I mean, like I've made some really good friends and we'll look back and go, wow, we met like when you bought that house or whatever. And it's like, that's pretty cool to look back years later after you're in
is.
the business for a while.
It is.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of how with like, even with Tony, my nail girl.
Yeah.
Because, it's because we're such good friends now. And it all started from, yes, I mean, she had done my nails before, but then we really got, together when she was buying her house. And then it was just one of those friendships that has just blossomed, you know? And so, and she's kind of the same way, I mean, I have a standing appointment every, 3 weeks, but if something happens and she can't do it, I'm waiting.
Yeah.
I'm not
You're
going
waiting for
anywhere.
your girl.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, so I do think that once you get, past a certain, when you get into like with trust and real estate agents,
Yeah.
once you can kind of break down some of those barriers, like, you're just, trying to, cash a check or whatever,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I think people do. And I think people don't understand what all we do.
Yeah.
And so
For sure.
and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, and I'm not one of those that's, saying, oh, I can do this because your other agent can't. No, I mean, I'm not, most of the time that agent couldn't do it because probably couldn't get done. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, let's just be
There's
honest.
probably a reason.
There was probably a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, but they're like, everything else. I mean,
Yeah. Once you can build a relationship
That's
and
right.
see if, because that's who you want to work with anyways, is the people
Exactly.
you're on the same page with.
Oh,
So like,
yeah.
that's what I spend time doing is talking to clients that are uncomfortable because like I'm here, I can drive to you and meet you and talk to you about stuff. I'm not some online person in a
Right.
cubicle somewhere. So
That's
hopefully
right.
we have some common ground because a lot of my clients I'm going to run into somewhere.
That's exactly
I
right.
might run into you at the grocery store or I
Yes.
might run into you, while we're at Picasso.
Yeah.
So I want to have that kind of relationship, not here's a rate and here's your payment.
I know.
Let me know whatever. I want to be able to serve them.
And that's why I tell
know?
people to go local.
Yeah.
Local lenders because they do care because they are going to see you at Kroger.
Yep.
They are going to see you at Picasso. They are going to have, someone's going to ask them to, for Little League, to, what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Sponsor teams. And
yes, they're going to ask you to sponsor this and do that. And you're going to see them at community events, which they love to do, which we love to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
Sure.
that's why, because they are here.
Yeah.
Like, y'all are here. And so that's why you're not, at 1-800.
Yeah. Whatever. I
And
always
so,
stop
I
myself
know.
from saying,
I do too.
Yeah.
I do too. And so, but yeah, I mean, because y'all care. Local people, I mean, and it means a lot more if you can go in and sit down across from somebody.
Yeah.
Because if somebody calls you and they're like, hey, I need this, this, and this, and you're like, what is that? You can go into their office, sit across from them, and they tell you, this is what I need.
Yeah.
I don't need this. Yes, I need this. You know what I mean? This is what we're here for.
Yeah.
This is what we're here to help you with. And so we can look you eye to eye.
Yeah.
And tell you like, this is what we need and this is what we're doing.
That's what I love about it. I mean, we're in a world where there are some people in certain generations where they're just like, send it to me online. I'll send you my stuff and I'm done.
Right.
But there's still tons of people and even different age groups. There's not just all younger people.
Yeah.
Like some younger people really want to sit down and talk.
They do.
And I feel like I heard somebody talking about this when I was in Houston at a conference recently, like the face-to-face and the feeling of a real relationship seems to be making a shift back.
I think
Like
so too.
we went through the first part of the digital age where it was just kind of like, I can do everything here and I don't need
Right.
people.
That's right.
And now there's getting to be like a need where the younger generation is like, I kind of want to feel connected to people.
Do you think that's kind of stems from COVID a little bit?
I think it has a lot to
I
do
do
with
too.
it. Yeah.
I do too. Because I think we lost so much of not being able to be with people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you couldn't even go to, the grocery store without, 6 feet. You
Oh,
know
yeah.
what I mean? And so, and I get it all. That's not,
Yeah.
but we lost so much of, like just being able to be with people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You
Oh,
couldn't
yeah.
go to dinner with your
Restaurants
friends.
you couldn't do, like
You couldn't-
everything was to go.
Yeah. It was like almost like apocalyptic times almost because it was just so weird.
It's almost like
know?
now we have to stop and like everybody has to like kind of reconnect.
Yes.
And be like, okay, who are the people I want to connect with?
That's
and
true too.
yeah. So I think COVID had a lot to do with
I do
it.
too.
It
And I
just-
think
it
people
kinda-
crave that.
Yeah.
You
I think they do too. Because when people do get that human interaction, because like when Stacy's got our granddaughter all day, she's on top, she's on cloud 9.
Yeah.
She loves hanging out with her. But then sometimes she'll be like, I just need some adult time.
Yeah.
I just need to have a conversation with a friend or with my husband or whatever, So I know
That's
there's
exactly right.
there's always that need there. And like, I think the longer you stay, like when I'm in the office all day, behind the screen
Yeah.
all the time,
Yeah.
sometimes it is nice just to go have a meeting, even if
I
it's not a
know.
super productive meeting about
Right.
something.
Just
Like
to be with somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where our kids come in a lot too. We're like,
Yeah.
hey, the kids that don't live at home, we're like, hey, you want to go have lunch, after
know, I
church
gotta
or
get
whatever?
outta here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I just need
Yeah.
to hear a conversation that doesn't have to do with mortgages for a little while. I'll still answer my phone, I promise.
Oh, okay.
But I'm just saying, like
Let's not get
sometimes,
crazy.
don't call somebody else. But I'm just saying, like sometimes you just need a little bit of, you need a little
do.
bit of human interaction, and
You do.
everything can't be done without talking to anybody.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
There's a need for humans in our business.
There is.
For sure.
Oh, I know. Because I know people's like, oh, do you think AI is going to replace
Oh,
you?
yeah.
And I'm like, can that? I mean, no.
You can't
No.
build a robot like this.
No,
Come on.
now. Come on. No, So,
Yeah.
no. I mean, because you're not, like you said, I mean, it's the human interaction. You're
Yeah.
not going to get that. Yeah, you can ask ChatGPT. I do all the time.
Sure,
Like
sure.
all kinds of questions, And so, but you still don't get, but here's the thing too, it can give you two different answers. Because me and a friend of
Always.
mine, we
Yep.
asked the same question, got two different answers.
Yep. It's not always right.
No. And so, but yeah, so yeah.
Yeah.
So that part I think will never be
Yeah.
replaced.
I think
You
it's
know
a
what I'm saying?
phenomenal tool
Oh,
to
100
use and to help with. But yeah,
yes.
I don't see it replacing
No,
stuff.
I
'cause
think it's a
just-
helper, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I think as our business progresses,
Mm-hmm.
people have to be willing to at least follow it a little
Sure.
bit. Like some people are like, I'm not getting on that stuff because it's crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like in our business, there's going to be some stuff, even some paperwork and different stuff that people are
yeah.
going to use just to be
Sure.
quicker
Sure.
and get back to people faster and
yeah.
stuff like that. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think, we are people, and not to get way,
Right.
but we were put here on earth to be around other people.
That's exactly right.
So,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We were
Yeah.
not meant to be alone. That's, why we were created. So I believe in that a lot. So I
Yeah.
think human interaction is pretty huge.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I like to see AI, talk to a lender at, midnight
Yeah.
trying to fix something out because we're closing at 8:00 in the morning.
We're going to need somebody to jump in there.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
And we
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah, we have to. But so we'll wrap this up. But I just wanted to, so if people do want to reach out to you and just get more information about houses or anything, what's the best way to reach you?
You can either call or text me 731-298-9722
Okay.
or FullingtonTeam.com or FullingtonTeam@gmail.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome.
try to keep it simple.
It's very simple. I
Yeah.
like that.
And I'm on all the socials.
You can find her. I promise.
All the socials.
Right now, I think you're making a big Olympic run
I am.
from what I've noticed.
I am,
So
yes.
yeah,
Oh,
check that
yeah.
out.
Oh, yeah.
Well, thank you for being here. We
fun.
really appreciate it.
Well, thank you. It's been fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, guys, reach out to Christy. Definitely check out her social media. She is a very, very awesome agent. She's a lot of fun to be around, and her and Ken do a great job in the community with their businesses. CryLike is an awesome office down there, and I think you'll really enjoy working with them. So reach out, even if you just got a question or you're looking to buy or sell right away. And we'll see you next time.